On this week's episode of BJ in the Morning, we're going to talk about DC EU, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Let's go. Welcome to BJ in the Morning. I'm Juan.
And I'm Brendan.
And this is episode 39.
40.
Episode 40.
Yeah.
Of BJ in the Morning.
The big 4-0.
The big faux
Over the hill.
Faux out. Faux out.
We did it.
We did it.
We made it.
And this is the last episode.
The last episode. Thanks for joining us on this ride. We'll talk to you next.
Yeah. But
we
have
got
a lot. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today.
It's a controversial topic, is what I'm hearing.
Do you really think that though?
Not for my sake, but for someone's sake, it might be a little controversial.
Right.
You seem a little, I wouldn't say heated by it, but that's the closest term I could get. You're a little maybe confused.
Confused.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Saddened, maybe even a little bit.
I'm conflicted.
There we go. That's the one I couldn't think of.
Conflicted. So if we talk about the DC universe, right? I thought it was DCU.
Yeah. Is the DC
apparently it's DC EU?
The DC Entertainment Universe.
Is that what it is?
What is it? Detective Comics Entertainment Universe?
I don't know.
What does DC actually stand for? Because the last time you said it was something totally gross.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Detective Comics.
Something totally gross.
You said
discharge. I remember.
You said discharge.
Let's open up in a new tab here.
New tab.
What dies?
What dies?
DC
Everything.
stand for.
Watch it.
DC stands for Detective Comics.
Oh, sick! I do know something.
Okay, so let's say DC EU.
Entertainment Universe. I'm going for that.
Okay, let's see.
It's actually DC Comics Entertainment.
DC Comics
Entertainment
Universe.
Nothing?
It's not giving it to me.
No, because it doesn't even know what it is. Yeah. Google doesn't even know what the DC EU is.
I'm okay with just a DCU.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
DC
but they got to be different from Marvel.
Universe.
Because you can't do the MCU and the DCU.
Yeah. DC Extended Universe.
Extended.
Detective Comics Extended Universe.
Okay, there we go. We figured it out. We got to the bottom of it.
For some people,
we're the detectives now.
We are.
Sorry,
we figured it out.
Cut you off with our detective skills like
that.
But
for some people who don't know what's going on,
like me,
we have, like you, and other people,
and others.
Some people might not know what DC is. So just real quick, DC Comics is like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, all that good stuff. You know, all the bad movies you've been watching lately.
Yeah.
You know, but the old DCU is no more. So
what?
Yeah, so the old DCEU was,
everything up until now.
Pretty much ran by Zack Snyder for a while, the majority of the movies. You got Batman v Superman. Mm-hmm. You got Superman, Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. You got Justice League, which the first Justice League was finished by Joss Whedon.
We don't like him.
We don't like him at all. And then re-released with the Snyder Cut due to popular demand, which was a 4-hour long movie.
Crazy.
Did it have to be 4 hours?
Apparently.
I watched the whole thing.
Apparently. It has to be
I don't know. I've never been on live television before. But my grandpa gives me the remote right after we watch the Powerball.
Go watch the Powerball, and then apparently we're watching Zack Snyder's Justice League.
We also have Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Both of them, right?
Both of them,
right?
I don't think he did the first one, did he?
Let's see.
Yeah, these are things that we should know ahead of time.
We should. And I did pull up a lot of stuff, but not
that. I don't know if he did the first one because it's not a very James Gunn.
Well, James Gunn definitely directed the second one.
Yeah, because it's the Suicide Squad and then Suicide Squad, right?
Right.
And Suicide Squad's definitely James Gunn. That's where we got introduced to like live action, like Peacemaker.
It was James Gunn.
The first one?
James Gunn and David Ayer.
Oh, it was bad.
It was terrible.
Yeah, horrible.
Watchable. But not good.
Not good.
So they were both directed by James Gunn.
Okay.
And then you got Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
Yeah.
And then Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
I liked it.
That one was a fun one.
I liked it.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I liked Wonder Woman. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
And then we come out with the dog pile of shit, Wonder Woman 1984.
Never even watched it.
That I fucking hated.
Yeah.
I hated every second of it.
I have no.
And I was very upset because the first one was so good.
I just had no like energy or like want or drive to see the second
There's
one.
literally no point in watching it. But the reason why we're bringing this up is because apparently the DCEU is no more.
Right. So all the old movies leading up to now, all the a lot of the ones you just mentioned, plus a couple more, right? Like The Flash, Aquaman 2, things like that. Leading up to that, those movies don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
To the cinematic.
Everything is getting rebooted.
Yeah.
Everything is under a new management, I guess. And the new managers, I guess, I can't think of the word.
So like the head,
the CEO or whatever of DC is going to be James Gunn.
He's not the CEO.
Well, not the CEO, but you know what I mean. The head.
The Kevin Feige.
He's the Kevin Feige.
the Kevin Feige
the Kevin Feige. Yeah, so it's going to be James Gunn and Peter Safran. They're taking over DC, and they're going to start rebooting the entire DCU movies.
Okay, so they have already slated out a bunch of movies that they're talking about. What are we looking forward to?
Before we do that, though, James Gunn has already done a couple of DC
movies
projects, right? So he did Suicide Squad. He also did Peacemaker, the show, which I loved.
I liked it a lot too.
And I think if everything's going to be in the same vein of, the style of Peacemaker, I wouldn't be upset. Although some of these movies, I think they shouldn't be as funny as James Gunn likes to make his movies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the new slate for the DCU is Superman Legacy.
Okay.
And apparently that's the first project that he's going to be doing. And they've already casted Superman and Lois Lane for this project.
The last thing I saw is that they hadn't done it yet.
So we have David Cornsweet as Clark Kent.
Who is this?
You
said Cornsweet?
Cornsweet.
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 This sounds like a porn star's name, honestly.
So he was he was in a movie called Hollywood.
Never heard
a movie called The Politician.
Never heard of it.
Look Both Ways.
Never heard of it.
Affairs of State.
Never heard of it.
We Own This City.
Nope.
Twisters.
Is it the
That's
sequel
not
to
out
Twister?
yet. That's not out yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's nothing really recognizable to me that he's been in.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, though.
No, I don't think so. But he does.
Does he look the part?
Kind of.
Yeah, no, he looks
he
just like
does.
everyone who's ever played Superman.
Yeah. Nice little good-looking dude.
Okay.
And then for Lois Lane, we have.
Who do we have?
We have Rachel
McAdams. All
Rachel
right.
Brosnan?
I don't know what you're looking at.
I have no clue. See, I don't know these actors like at all.
But like I said, I don't think that's always a bad thing. Getting actors who are
fresh,
you know, like
fresh new face,
unknown.
But he does look the part. She looks the part. He looks the part. But we also have Isabella Merced as Hawk Girl.
Oh, interesting.
Nathan Fillion is supposed to play one of the villains.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's going to be very interesting about this movie is that, you know, it's it's supposed to be a classic Superman story, but we already have, you know, like superheroes already exist in this universe. So it's like you have known villains, you have known superheroes.
Okay.
And I guess it's just a classic Superman, you know, trying to learn about his Kryptonian heritage and, you know, protecting the people.
So since we're bringing this up, I, as someone who doesn't really watch DC movies, doesn't really know DC comics all that much, the way you're describing this is basically Spider-Man Homecoming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So are they taking a page from Marvel now?
Sounds like it, because Spider-Man Homecoming didn't have
the origin
story for the third time, which was great.
It had like Vulture's origin story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it made sense in the sense that like Spider-Man's in a world of superheroes. There are villains, but there are also newer villains coming out of the line. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, but this definitely sounds, because I think when you look at it, everyone complained about Spider-Man origin stories in all the movies. But like DC does it with Superman every time they come out of the Superman movie. You know, like how many,
like a new origin story.
There's the new origin story. And then even with the Batman movies, right? Like we've had how many Batman movies?
I mean, did Superman Returns with
Brandon Routh?
Did that was that an origin?
I don't remember, because wasn't it like supposed to be a direct sequel to like the Christopher Reeves ones?
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't really an origin story, but they did have a small, you know, glimpse of him crash landing. Yeah, and then all of a sudden he was Superman.
But like I said, it sounds kind of like they're taking a page out of that. Like we don't need to go back, but you never know. They might do another origin story in this.
And if you're a fan of like the DC like cartoons and animated series, they do the origin story a lot. So if you don't know the origin of Superman, then what you doing? You know what I mean?
Alien. He came to Earth. He was raised by farmers.
So the storyline here, as written, says follows the titular superhero as he reconciles his heritage with his human upbringing. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way in a world that views kindness as old-fashioned. So, just with that small little storyline synopsis, because there's not much coming out on what it's about, but it seems to be very classic Superman, if you ask me. I don't know much about that specific comic, but I think it'll be a nice fresh start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see the underpants though, the Superman underpants.
They ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, no more cool suits. Give us a good, classic underpants Superman.
They ain't gonna do it. What's next on this list of movies and stuff?
So the next one is The Authority.
What is that?
The Authority is a superhero team.
Okay, Justice League, Avengers.
Right. So
X-Men.
I don't know too much about the Authority, but from what I know, it is kind of like the Eternals.
Oh, another page out of Marvel's movies books.
Right. So
movie books.
This is a newer like comic book series and came out in 1999.
Okay.
And it's a group of 7 superheroes.
Isn't there like 32 Eternals?
Yeah, I think there was like 11 of them.
That movie is
so
hard to watch, and it should have been a TV show. So
yeah,
it would have been better than most of the Marvel TV shows.
So for here we got members like nobody that's very like recognizable, but we got somebody
Just tell me their names. I'm gonna guess their powers.
Jenny Sparks.
She has sparklers in her pocket.
Apollo.
Astronaut.
Midnighter.
He only comes out at night.
The engineer.
He just makes things. He works at like a place that builds things.
Swift.
Kind of like the Flash, just not as fast.
Jenny Quantum.
Works for Ant-Man.
Death Blow.
What?
Death Blow.
Death Blow?
Uh-huh.
He just goes, and then you die.
Grifter.
Just it's that name's spot on. He just kind of goes town to town, tricking people out of money, and then moves on.
Well,
this sounds like a great movie already.
Yeah, it does. Stupid me. The freaking
Grifter.
The freaking article I pulled up doesn't even tell me what their powers are.
That's okay. We don't need to know. If you know in the comments down below, let us know what their powers are.
Let us know. We don't know them very well, but it's coming. And it's, like you said, another page out of Marvel's book, which is like Marvel has been there, done that.
Yeah. Why
not DC do it?
Like I said, I have more to say on this situation after we get through a little bit more of this, I'm sure.
Okay.
But it's all clicking.
So we also have Batman Brave and the Bold.
Okay, and so like when you say that, I just think of the animated series. So is it probably gonna be that, like just based on speculation? I'm sure they've only told the title, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that is a good guess. If you hear that, you think first thing you're gonna think of is that animated series. But the Brave and the Bold is actually like a Silver Age.
Yeah, it's from
DC
like
comic,
like 80s, 70s.
1967.
Wow, 70s was close.
So this version of Batman went on from 1967 to 1983.
I wasn't wrong.
Yeah. But I guess the Brave and the Bold is supposed to be more based around Batman and his relationship with Damian Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Who they become... I'm trying to rack my brain for knowledge of the Robin situation.
So, Dick Grayson was Robin. He became Nightwing.
Okay, look at me go.
Damian Wayne was
Didn't he become... He's like bad.
Robin.
Just Robin? Didn't one of them become bad?
That's Jason Todd.
Okay, so I know a little bit.
But Jason Todd was murdered by the Joker. Essentially.
And then he
wasn't really murdered.
And he became some red dude.
The Red Hood.
There we go. Look at me go. Be at least kind of proud of me.
I would love to see the Red Hood live action though.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. But I personally think that would be an interesting take on Batman to see in live action because we don't get to see Robin except for
there was that one shot of the suit and then the Joseph Gordon-Levitt cameo thing where they're like, you should go by your real name, Robin.
The only time we ever saw Robin was in the old ones. In George Clooney Batman.
George Clooney's.
The only time we saw Robin.
No, but can we just talk about how that end credit part where like you should just use your real name, Robin? How dumb that shit was.
Robin wasn't his fucking name.
Yeah, right.
That was just. I feel like that was just a throwaway
fucking Christopher
line. I don't really think they were actually trying to.
No, they were. They were
make him Robin.
They were gonna, and then everyone went when that line was said, and then they're like, "Never mind, cut it."
You know what just I really want to see though? I want to see Batman fight like his traditional villains. Mm-hmm. I want to see Clayface.
Yeah.
I want to see
Calendar Man.
I want to see the Riddler, but not like today's version of Riddler, like realistic.
Like bring Jim Carrey back.
Bring Jim Carrey back. I want to see the Joker as like.
But can we talk about how the Riddler in the last Batman movie was pretty sick?
It was sick. It was good.
But like a cheesy Riddler does sound fun. Who do you think would play cheesy Riddler now?
Other than Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey's not really acting anymore. But like who nowadays would do it?
Who would make a good
Riddler?
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough, right? It's tough.
Who's that guy? Who's the guy? Who's the guy?
Put it together. Put the thought together.
Oh my God, what is his name?
What's he in?
I get him confused with Charlie Day all the time.
What's he in?
New Girl.
Are you talking about
I don't know his name.
Jake Johnson?
Yes. Yeah. That's him.
Yeah.
I think he would make a good Riddler. It would be interesting.
It would be really dumb in in some fun ways.
In all the best ways, I think.
I haven't really seen him do anything serious, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But also, Charlie Day as Joker. Let's go. What's next on the list?
Next one, what they have set up for us is Supergirl, Wonder Woman of... I'm sorry. What? Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably just an origin story of Supergirl.
Even though, didn't we have Supergirl in The Flash? Or is that someone?
That's a CW.
And there's a CW show that got canceled? Did it get canceled?
I don't think so. It went on for like 5 seasons.
Okay, so yeah, they're probably an origin story.
That's just my guess.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not hearing a lot of variations here except for the Authority, right? It's all the same characters we've gotten before.
Nothing really new.
I
guess in James Gunn's words, that Supergirl is a character viewers are not used to seeing.
Okay.
And truthfully, they really are not used to seeing Supergirl on the big screen.
Yeah.
Except for when we got
the Flash one.
The one in the Flash, yeah.
So like the last time any superhero person said you're not used to seeing blah 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 like this was about She-Hulk. You're not used to seeing She-Hulk like this. And then She-Hulk came out, and She-Hulk's like pretty accurate to the comics of She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. So I'm not feeling too hopeful for Supergirl. I don't know, but I have more to say about the James Gunn situation. So I think there's like 2 or 3 more that's been listed so far.
Like a couple more.
Yeah.
So we got the Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Which they've been trying to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has not.
And they're gonna make it seem like one of those old 50s black and white B movies, just like Marvel did with Werewolf by Night, which has been one of my favorite recent Marvel things.
And they had a Swamp Thing.
They had Swamp Thing. So again, continue. I'm not gonna start ranting about my feelings here.
Okay.
Not just yet. We're only 24 minutes in.
So, and then we also have DCU TV shows. Creature Commandos.
What is that?
It's essentially
gargoyles.
I wish gargoyles.
Beast Boy.
So it is literally
your face when I said Beast Boy. You're like, shut the fuck.
It is literally Suicide Squad, but with like
mythical
monsters.
Creatures.
Yeah, they got
Rhett and Link.
Guess what?
Swamp Thing.
No,
Man Swamp.
Guess what? They got Ric Flair Sr.
Not the one we got in Suicide Squad.
Nope, Ric Flair's father.
His Faja.
Ric Flair Sr., they got Frankenstein. They got Frankenstein's bride.
These are DC Comics. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's bride.
Yeah.
Bride o' Frankenstein.
Bride o' Frankenstein.
Frankenbride.
So the Dr. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. If you get that reference, you're cool, by the way.
So Frankenstein in the DC universe is
Did he
was created
Arkham?
through the use of stolen body parts and the blood of the alien king, Dr. Melmoth.
Melmoth. Does he resemble a moth?
Not sure who that is.
Me neither.
To be honest.
TBH.
If I'm TBHing.
to be honesting.
Did I say Ric Flair?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot. Ric Flag.
I just went with it because I know.
Ric
Flair, like from, that's like WWE.
Yeah. Ric Flag Sr.
I knew who you were talking about from the Suicide Squad, but didn't realize the name was wrong. But the way that I spelled it in my head was like Flair, like from a flare gun, not Flair like the patches and shenanigans and stuff, you know?
Right. There's a lady named Nina Mazursky. And she looks exactly like the psychic fish guy from Hellboy. That's the best way I know how to describe it.
Okay. The psychic fish guy.
The Bride of Frankenstein. I said that already. G.I. Robot.
Okay, so I'm just picturing the character from that one show with Brendan Fraser.
Fraser.
He's the robot in that show. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Doom Patrol.
There we go. It's his brother.
Seems like it.
G.I. Robot reporting.
It is a robot that is like has superhuman strength, durability, enhanced intelligence. Conveniently has weapons everywhere he goes.
Inspector Gadget?
Yeah. And one that you will recognize.
It's a fucking Batman.
Weasel.
Oh, from Suicide Squad.
From Suicide Squad.
Played by James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn. Yep.
Sean Gunn. Do you think there's like a John Gunn? Just a melding of both their names. It's like the third brother no one talks about.
Just John Gunn.
John.
What's up, John? Sorry, you're not
John's
famous.
Home and he just like teaches piano on the weekends. But he's funny, but not funny enough.
Yeah. So essentially, it's another supervillain team up with monsters.
And we've seen these work really well. Every single time there's a team up superhero movie, they're really, really popular.
Yeah.
Every single time, everyone loves everything about the team up movies.
This next one should be very interesting. It's called Waller.
And that's just about what's her face?
Just
Waller.
Dedicated to Amanda Waller. Played by Viola Davis.
Who's basically Nick Fury, but bad Nick Fury.
Right. Kind of bitchy.
Yeah,
you know?
bad Nick Fury.
Bad.
I'm not saying evil. I'm saying bad.
Not evil. Bad.
Just not good.
Not evil. Just getting the job done.
She makes questionable decisions to get the job done.
Another show about Booster Gold. Booster Gold is DC's longtime comic relief character and is a time traveler who uses basic technology and consumer appliances from the future to make himself a superhero in the present day.
That sounds convoluted. That sounds like there are going to be 3 episodes of this show that are just dedicated to the origin.
So he has powers utilizing advanced future technology.
It's not a superpower.
Energy blasts
from the
force fields
from the things that he stole from the future.
Sure. Enhanced strength, time travel, enhanced visual powers, and various other abilities. Longevity, expert hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
And what? Like, what are they? Who is this? Have you read this comic? Do you know this character?
I don't.
He's
new. He's not new. He's not a new character. He was created in 1986.
Okay. So,
but I don't personally know this.
Are there more shows?
The Lanterns.
Oh, okay. About all the Lanterns.
Nope. It's essentially going to be a buddy cop team up with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Sounds fun.
It could be fun.
I think that one will be
depending on who they cast for those roles.
Yeah. The Rock and
John Cena.
No. The Rock
Sam
and
Jackson.
Who was in Samuel Jackson. And then this other one, the last one, Paradise Lost, is set in Themyscira. Where's that?
That's where Wonder Woman's from.
Right. Although this show will not be about Wonder Woman, but it will be about the history and the character's arc.
But everyone who watches the show will complain that Wonder Woman's not in it every episode.
Apparently, this show is going to be Game of Thronesy.
Okay. Do we need a show like that?
That one, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if we're going to talk about Themyscira,
that's basically
we want to see
origin story of Wonder Woman, right?
Sure.
If it's leading up to her story.
Sure, it'll be an origin of the Amazonians, yeah, but not necessarily Wonder Woman. I would be excited for the Lanterns.
Yeah.
Booster Gold will be interesting. Don't really care about Waller. Creature Commandos. Nah,
but wait, I have a question. Not. Who played Waller in the movies?
Viola Davis.
And she's gonna play the role again, but it doesn't matter because the DCU is starting over, being rebooted. So why do you have to bring back the actors? Is it because this is gonna start my rant about what's going on. Are you ready? So all the other DC movies that have been out they don't matter anymore, but are the ones that James Gunn has had a hand in still going to be part of it? Like, is James Gunn being like, I'm in charge, so my movies are still part of it, but everyone else's movies aren't part of it? Because that's what it's sounding like. Right.
So why are you coming at me like I made these decisions?
I'm not coming at you. I told you I was going to rant about it because, like, as someone who's not a huge DC fan,
right,
I'm looking at this from a normal moviegoer stand. Wouldn't it be confusing? Like, we have a brand new Superman, we have a brand new Batman, we have a brand new whoever, but then this one character who doesn't really matter is the same.
But it was already kind of an issue when, the DCU was Zack Snyder movies.
Yeah.
So the Suicide Squad essentially was never a part of that universe.
But my question there is, Harley Quinn's in the Suicide Squad. Joker's in the Suicide Squad. Batman that's in the Justice League movie is in the Suicide Squad. Right?
Movie, yeah. He was.
Yeah. So they're connected. Like, 100% connected. Just because they look different and feel different.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know why. Sorry. I don't know why that would be an exception.
I'm asking you.
And you can almost guarantee that Peacemaker is going to be the same. It's going to be John Cena, of course.
And the only reason I asked you like the way I did is because it don't make sense to me. And I want your opinion as a fan of the DC, like DCEU.
I think that if there was... Okay. And I understand what you're saying. I think with a character like Amanda Waller, it's the name of the actor.
Yeah.
That is, people love Viola Davis, and I could care less about Amanda Waller, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really care who plays her. I don't care if she gets recasted, but the argument here is, okay, how many Batman have we had?
7.
So
I sounded really confident, but I don't know if it's 7.
But like, in that same vein, it's like we see a Batman that we really love, right? Okay. Now we're gonna see another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And apparently,
so that's the word of the episode.
The Batman, the other Batman,
with Robert
Pattinson is going to be the same. They're still going to make those. In an Elseworlds type of situation. So it's going to be a different universe. Same, like James Gunn's still going to be like the head of all that, though.
Okay, my other question, and this again, not directed towards you, but you can put your opinion in because that's what the point of this discussion is. Basically, the way this all feels for me, an outsider, is that DC is just like, yep, we fucked up. And then they saw Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 and said, he could do that. And then they stole James Gunn from Marvel and made him the Kevin Feige. Right? That's basically what's going on. Because he made a good Suicide Squad movie.
But James Gunn was fired from Marvel first and then worked for DC.
Yeah, because...
Then went back to Marvel just to finish the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. And that whole thing, yeah, like, cool. He got let go for a bit while they were investigations.
So if you were the director and you were let go from your job...
Yeah.
And then the competitor was like, hey, come work for us.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
It really depends on a lot of different things, and we don't know what the discussion was like, you know?
But then how much further can you go? Like, this is me defending James Gunn in this situation. How much further can you go in Marvel?
I'm not knocking James Gunn. I think he makes great movies. Maybe Guardians 3 wasn't the best of the three, but it was good. You know what I mean?
What?
No, Guardians 2. Sorry. Guardians 2.
I was like, what?
Guardians 2 wasn't the best of the three. Right?
Okay.
But like he was going through all the shit. Anyways, my biggest problem with this whole thing is DC sounds like they're making the same mistake they made with Zack Snyder. Where it's like he's got everything, complete creative control, just him. It needs to look like his movies, it needs to feel like his movies, it needs to be written like his movies. But like, yes, cool, we have Kevin Feige from Marvel who is like overseeing everything, but he's not like a film director. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have a style. He doesn't have like the thing that makes him a good, like, well-known director like James Gunn does. Zack Snyder was really cool in 2009 when he made 300. That effect, that like the look, the feel,
it
the
didn't
vibe
work for DC.
It worked for what, a couple of movies maybe. When they were really stylized and really like made to look gritty and dark, and like Zack Snyder's style was very 2010. Like 300 could not have been made to not look the way that it did.
But then that's always going to be the argument with any big time director like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bay. Like
Edgar Wright.
They're all going to have their style, and it's always going to be that way.
But my thing is, DC already did this with Zack Snyder. And so all the movies for a long time looked and felt the same, right? Even if he wasn't 100% involved, like with Nolan's Batmans, they were still dark, gritty, beige colored film. You know what I mean? All the DC movies have looked like that for decades now. And now we have the Suicide Squad movies come out, and they got colorful, and they got more lighthearted, and they got a little like teetering on the edge of reality, you know, and they finally were getting into like feeling like comic books. And now that's what the style is going to be for the next decade.
But that's the question here.
I'm concerned.
Is James Gunn... We don't know if he's directing every single project that he's talking about.
But he is going to be a producer.
Sure.
Producers have the final say in the film, what it looks like, what it feels like, all that kind of stuff, right? The directors, yes, they have most of the credit, at least. The writers have some of the credit, not enough. But like, it just it kind of seems too close to the last thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're replacing one dude with another dude with vastly different styles. It's going to flip everything on its head. It's going to get more fun, more lighthearted in some areas. Sure, probably, right? But again, it's like we knew for the last couple decades who was a DC movie fan and who was a Marvel fan, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you wanted the dark, gritty DC. You wanted the light, family-friendly, but also kind of serious sometimes Marvel, right? Mm-hmm. Now they're kind of going to look... There's a chance they're going to look and feel the same.
Yeah.
And with DC planning all these movies ahead in advance, releasing them the same way that Marvel's been doing it, you know, like, let's have an event and I'll show you a timeline and here's all the titles and they're all stylized to look like what the movie's going to look like. But also now they're doing TV shows. Mm-hmm. There's fatigue happening.
But
with superhero movies and shows.
I agree with that. And that's even coming into play with Marvel.
I'm not ever going to defend Marvel for the choices they've made the last couple years because we're getting okay movies and shitty TV shows.
Yeah.
I really hope Loki season 2 is as good as I want it to be.
Yeah.
But like, we don't need TV shows all the time. Make sure it counts.
That is the money grab right there, is making the shows. And then what next? It's probably not going to be HBO Max. Then we're going to have a whole DC, you know, DC Plus.
Yeah.
You know? And it's another thing we have to pay for.
Superhero Plus. You got to pay $50 for Marvel, $50 for DC. And, you can only pick one or the other, and then it's $700 for both.
And me being a DC fan does not mean that I necessarily disagree with you. Mm-hmm. But I desperately want DC to work.
Yeah.
Being a DC fan before I was a Marvel fan. Mm-hmm. So, do I want to see these movies succeed? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I want to see these movies make me feel the way Marvel movies made me feel? Yes. Do I have high hopes? No.
I'm concerned.
We've had high hopes in the past, as speaking for all the DC fans. We've had high hopes. And what's really pissing me off now, dude, is now this was announced in January. 10 months ago. And yet we still got the Flash. Okay, cool. They could have used that to kind of transition everything.
Yeah, because like the story they base it on is basically like the Flash ruining the timeline and like resetting it.
And that would have been a perfect opportunity to just say, okay,
white slate, you know, like at the end of the movie and not get all the terrible shit that we saw at the end of the movie.
Exactly. And then, okay, cool. I like the Flash, but nobody really gave a fuck anymore because it's like, where are we going with this? Yeah. And Ezra Miller fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Well, also, we also got Blue Beetle still. Where does that land? Nobody fucking knows. I didn't see it.
But it's got the kid from Cobra Kai.
And you
What's
know what?
I don't remember his name right now. You know his name.
Yeah.
You know his name.
You know his name.
He's great though. I like him.
I like him too. And I was excited for that movie as well. But where does it fall?
I don't know.
Is that
Did it come out already?
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it yet, but
I heard someone say it was good, I think. If I'm thinking of the same movie. Or someone was talking about it recently saying like, oh, it's really cool. Like, I don't remember.
But does it fall in the line of moving forward?
Is it like the Black Adam situation where it's like I barely watched it? Was Black Adam good? Okay.
It was cool. It was a cool movie.
But like, did we need it?
No, definitely not.
Or like Shazam 2?
But Shazam 2 was not needed either. I
loved the first Shazam.
Me too. And Black Adam, was really that was a rock project.
Yeah. And good for him.
Yeah.
Doing what he wanted to do.
Good for him. He did it. And I feel like he was kind of let down with, it not being as big as He hoped it to be.
And now he's making live action Moana already.
And I don't know. Like, now we got Blue Beetle. Mm-hmm. And like I said, where does that land?
Aquaman's.
And then Aquaman 2, I watched that trailer that just came out like a week ago.
I thought this movie was out already.
It pissed me off even more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't. It's been 10 months since you've already told me none of the shit that we know already is gonna be a part of this new DCU.
No, and think about all the people who got excited, all the actors who got, like, didn't Jason Momoa like really want to be in this? Mm-hmm. And now he's just getting kicked out. Mm-hmm. Same with like The Rock, right? Like, yeah, he was told probably like, hey, if this does well, we'll keep going. We'll do this. We'll do that. No.
Never mind.
Who else? Batfleck's pretty cool. We like him, right?
We like Batfleck.
He probably not gonna come back, right?
Nope. He was supposed to direct his own Batman movie.
That would be sick. Mm-hmm. But now there's a chance we might see him in like Deadpool 3 as Daredevil.
As Daredevil, yeah.
And that could be cool. Mm-hmm. Like those movies, not cool. There's nothing redeeming really about Daredevil? Old Fox movies, you know, the superhero movies. Mm-hmm. But like, give him a moment, like we want, you know.
He deserves.
Like other movies have done recently, other TV shows, things like that, right?
Yeah.
Like in The Flash with the Nick Cage thing. Give him the moment where we can just be like, yeah, cool. Or the Spider-Man thing, you know?
Yeah.
Where we're like, actually, Andrew Garfield was pretty sick.
And I'm not mad about James Gunn taking over, but I am mad and just over it that we're still getting 2, 3, maybe even 4 movies that aren't gonna mean shit.
But that brings up the question, does every movie need to mean something else?
It does not.
Right.
But these movies are made with the intention of moving forward with a bigger, badder situation, like another Justice League movie, and it's not going to happen. And then there's these plot holes. So like in The Flash, they made it seem like the Snyderverse was going to be continued. But it's not. And we know it's not. And I understand that it costs a lot of money to make these movies. Why not just release them? But I personally am over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Sure, Jason Momoa was a cool Aquaman for the first movie. I don't need another one. Am I going to watch it? Probably.
Did they put Amber Turd in this one?
I don't think so.
Did they replace her finally?
I don't think so, but in the trailer, he has a kid. Which I'm assuming is between him and Mara. But Amber Turd is not in that movie. I think that's the reason why it didn't come out sooner.
Yeah, because it's been like 6 years,
they had to reshoot.
Right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
They had to reshoot everything that had Amber Turd.
Yeah.
Turd.
Ambert.
Ambert. Amber T.
No, but like as someone who doesn't really care about the DCU, and it's not that like not caring. How do I describe it? Like it's not that I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's just like I could take it or leave it. If the movie looks good, I'll go see it. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna see it. Like
I just think this is an argument that we've had for a long time because I feel like, and this don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like just because you don't like the DC movies, that DC is terrible.
I've never said that.
No, you never said that. It's just how
that's how you feel.
This is how you've made me feel about your opinions of the DC universe. Now, with that said, you just gotta give it a shot, baby.
The funniest part, though, is like we don't really talk about the other DC things that I do enjoy. You know, like I've played the like Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games. Really great. They're fun. They're awesome. It is dark. It is gritty. But it, again, has that Zack Snyder feel. You know what I mean?
Is
like,
it Zack Snyder?
No.
It's not?
But it still has been something that's come out in the time that Zack Snyder has done the movies. Right? So the movies feel beige. Like I said, they all have that same beige wash over the film. Like,
yeah.
Where's the color, man?
Give us some color.
But then the games feel like that. But like one of my like favorite games was called like Arkham City Imposters. It was like this first person shooter versus a team of wannabe Jokers, wannabe Batmans. And I loved it. Like it was so cool, like running around shooting up the town, and it felt like the cartoons. It felt like the comics. Like it was colorful. Like some of the weapons were like legit teeth that you threw on the ground and they would trap people. Like shit like that, right? But like that's the DC that I grew up with, that the Clooneys and the Keatons and everything, where it was dark but also weird and colorful with the Tim Burton feels and everything. But like DC has had its issues for movies shaping the look of everything and the feel of everything.
Did you ever watch the more recent Justice League animated movies?
No.
There's like a whole series on it. Like Justice League War and Justice League. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like six,
I know what you're
talking
about.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
In live action. I want to see that type of story, that more comic book feel, but in live action. And is that too much to ask?
I don't think so. And I think what you're getting at is maybe part of the reason that DC hasn't really worked for me. But also Marvel falls into this category too, where it's that they are afraid to just make it comic book accurate. They're like, let's make it realistic. I don't fucking want that. This is a comic book.
Yeah.
This is about a guy who dresses as a bat, a dude who was bitten by a spider. Give me the weird shit. But make it fun. Like, these movies are, yes, supposed to be for us as adults, but also for kids. But they don't feel like kids' movies sometimes, you know?
But when you think about it, DC has really succeeded in their animated movies or TV shows since what, the 90s? They've done really well with the animated.
I can't tell you any that I've watched, right? So I don't have an opinion there.
You never watched Justice League when we were kids?
When we were kids? I thought you said recently.
No. Well, I was saying that specific
when we were
Justice
kids,
League was...
Like,
I'm saying in general, DC has been very successful
with animated shows.
Animation.
Yeah. Like Batman Beyond.
At all times. Yeah.
I loved Teen Titans as a kid, which is, again, it's more like kid cartoon comic book focused, right? But like Teen Titans got dark, you know, it had its moments and it's evolved into other things after that. The animated Batman shows, watch those all the time. Like, I know who all these characters are. I've seen them all before. But like, I think the DCU and the MCU are so powerful and so like in people's faces all the time that you forget, the common audience, right, can sometimes forget that there's more than just movies and / TV shows, right?
Yeah. Like,
how often when I say like picture Batman, who do you picture most of the time? Probably from the live action movies, right? It's not like red glowing eyes from the animated series, the intros, right?
Yeah.
It's not Superman like holding a car over his head and everything's red, white, and blue. You know what I mean? It's not. When I think of Spider-Man, I don't see the 90s Spider-Man cartoon that I love. You know what I mean? So where are we missing? I'm not seeing comic books. I'm not seeing cartoons. All we see is live action.
Yeah.
Because it's too powerful. And then you put one person in charge of these things and they all start feeling the same all the time. Marvel doesn't have clear like differences in all their movies and shows. They all feel the same too. DC's not the only DC's not the only studio making these mistakes, right? It's companies making the mistakes.
And I don't disagree with you at all.
I just want, sorry, I couldn't see you.
I'm just chilling now.
I just want them to stop being afraid to make a fucking comic book movie.
Yeah.
At least,
which they always got to make it, whether like they can give us the most comic book accurate movie and still fuck it up somehow by saying, oh, we should make the suit like this because it's more realistic.
Oh, Miss Marvel's got to have energy fists instead of just stretching.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
And then we're all cool with Sandman in Spider-Man 3. Pretty fucking accurate. You know what I mean? But I think Marvel and DC, and this is just a shout out. I know you haven't watched it yet, but the live action One Piece on Netflix. I don't watch anime that much. I don't watch it. Someone told me to watch the live action one because it's really good, really like planned out, smart, looks good. It's pretty accurate to the anime, where this kid stretches like he is made of rubber. They don't change it. They didn't give it any other thing,
explanation, or a higher power or anything like that.
It's a magic fruit that he ate as a kid because he was mad at someone, and now he's stretchy. He can bounce bullets off of his belly because he can stretch out to like a little trampoline. He can just do this shit. You know how good that show was? I enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing in one sitting. And if I never watched the anime, which I've watched like 3 episodes now, I don't see the difference. You know what I mean? Obviously there's big differences, but like, make it accurate, make it fun, make it make sense. But also, we've suspended our disbelief enough. Give me a Batman.
Give me Batman.
Give me bad Joker who is so scary evil because he's so silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Two-Face, make him fucking Nicholson again. You know what I mean? Not Nicholson. Nicholson was Joker. Right? Back in the day. Who was Two-Face? From Men in Black.
Yeah. Curtis.
No.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
now I have to look it up.
Those 90s Batman movies, the 80s, 90s Batman movies, are they perfect?
I fucking know his name.
Yeah,
too.
we're going to feel dumb. We're going to feel real dumb.
Tommy Lee Jones.
That's what we said.
I said Jamie Lee Curtis.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's moments in those where you're like, I'm watching a cartoon. You know? I don't know. That's my thing right now with superhero movies in general. Not just DC, not just Marvel. With superhero movies as a genre. I want to have fun when I go to a superhero movie.
And as bad as some of these movies were, that was what was so good about like the 1990s Batman. You know,
they were cheesy.
They were comic booky. They were fun. They were scary at times, like
right,
as a kid.
Because of how it is, right? But think about it like this: who's the first person to play Batman for
live action?
Yeah, a long time.
Michael Keaton.
No.
For a long time.
Yeah. Who's the first person to play Batman?
Oh,
live
Kevin
action?
Conroy.
No. Adam West.
Okay, sure.
In the old TV shows, right? How many times do people dog on that?
Like how bad it is?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. But do we still talk about it? Is it still fun to look at? Is it still silly as fuck because of the time period it came out?
Yeah.
But did it feel like a comic book?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that was really actually made to be a comic book.
Right.
You know?
So that's my thing with superhero movies as a whole right now. And the more that DC is acting like Marvel and not realizing that they can just be different now is the time.
Be DC.
Right. Do your thing and do it well. Don't do Marvel's thing because Marvel can't even do Marvel's thing anymore.
And that's the question, though, is why? Why can DC be so successful making animated movies and animated shows, but be completely just oblivious to making a live action? What is going on upstairs, that is it really that different?
They're afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Think about it like this.
Don't be afraid.
They gave Namor wings on his feet.
Namor.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. They gave him wings on his feet, right?
Yeah.
They were just like, he a mutant. I don't feel like they changed too much about him, and I completely accept the fact he is who he says he is.
Mm-hmm.
From the comics, is it a little different? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did they make more sense in the real world of the MCU? Yes. But is he completely different from the comics? He's got winged feet. He can talk to fish. He did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aquaman? Is it the same as the comics? I'm asking legitimately because I haven't seen the movie. They made him dark and gritty and
an alcoholic.
Yeah, so like, is he an alcoholic in the comics?
I don't think so.
Is the water brown and murky down in Atlantis? Is that where he's from? I don't know where he's from.
Atlantis. Yes.
But that's the thing, right? It's like, look at superhero movies as a whole and TV shows, all of them. Some of them just say, fuck it. Do it how it's supposed to be done. We don't need to explain why this weasel is a thing. Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I loved about Suicide Squad was like, they just had all these fucking people. Mm-hmm. All these characters with weird powers. Like, who's the Polka Dot Man? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that his name? It's like the dot. I don't know. The Spot?
The Spot.
No, that's the one from...
That's from Spider-Man.
But you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Polka Dot Man. I'm pretty sure it's Polka Dot Man. It's something weird like that. They just did it. You know what I mean? They just did it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's very frustrating. Mm-hmm. And it is... And I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think you got to come at me as hard as you do
I'm
most of the time.
not coming at you. I'm coming
Polka
at the...
Dot Man.
Yeah, okay, sick.
And,
or Rat
and
Catcher.
It really does feel like you get angry with me.
I'm not angry with you.
No, you don't have to explain.
I'm not angry with you.
You don't have to explain. But it's like, hey, I want to talk about this, but on the podcast or not. I want to talk about this because I don't have anyone to talk to about DC. Mm-hmm. Ever. Nobody likes DC. Except for, I mean, I talk to you because you're my fucking best friend, and I talk to you about all of it, whether you want to hear it or not. Mm-hmm. But then I have one friend who likes DC, and that's kind of fun to talk to him about. But then I'm like, dude, I get it. They suck. And I get it. They're not making the right moves. And neither is Marvel.
Right.
But like, that's not my fault.
I never
You know
said
what I mean?
Was.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault that I'm a diehard fan.
And you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm coming at you as much as I'm coming at the idea.
I need to be... If you're a diehard fan, you got to be a diehard fan. To the very end. Do the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Like being a Diamondbacks fan.
Yeah, or like a fan of Blink-182.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come around again, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I'm not sitting here saying don't be a fan. Mm-hmm. I'm saying we want them to succeed.
I want them to succeed.
I'm not sure how this plan of copying Marvel will help.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Marvel, which I'm a diehard fan of, is doing it right now, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, what was the last good Marvel thing? Right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. But
I can confidently say, like, oh, the Batman with Pattinson, I loved. I'm glad you took me to that. Am I stoked that I watched The Flash? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Did I watch it in 2 sessions? Yes. But also, I'm not like rushing to go watch Aquaman.
And I don't see the purpose of copying Marvel, because that's what it seems like. Essentially with like their first 10 projects in the works. I don't see the point of copying Marvel when it's like that is the rivalry right there.
Yeah,
That's always been the rivalry. And if it's reversed, people will notice. Mm-hmm. And it's not like they can just brush it off. I mean, they will, but they can't just, it's not going to go unseen.
No, but we got the Avengers way before the Justice League was announced, right? Mm-hmm. And then they made the Justice League movie. Like, DC had comics.
10 years later.
Yeah. So DC did the things in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And did Marvel copy them in some aspects? Maybe, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not legally going to say yes or no. But it is obvious that, all the comics led up to the movies, and Marvel executed the movies first. They executed the idea of the cinematic universe before cinematic universes were a thing, And now everyone's in a fucking cinematic universe.
And what's even funnier is like when you're talking about the comics and like DC did the majority of the work beforehand.
Sure. Yes. Legally, maybe.
Yes, legally.
Legally, maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
But then it got to the point where like we're getting characters like, okay, we got a character that can control water, and then Marvel's gonna make one, and then Marvel makes a character that does whatever, and then DC's they have to stay
together.
Yeah, they got.
They don't
fight
exist
each
without
other.
the other.
Yeah, and so then it got to the point where I don't know which one was created first, but we have Deadshot
and
Slade Wilson,
and then we got Wade Wilson.
Deadpool.
I think they clearly said that Deadpool came second.
Yeah.
And the reason his name is Wade Wilson,
is
I don't know. It might be
Wilson?
reversed too, but it is obvious that there are digs at one another, right?
Yeah.
We won't ever see Justice League versus the Avengers in live action. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Which would be very cool.
We've had the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you and me geeking out over that comic book for the longest time when we found it at a freaking Bookman's.
Yeah, in that comic book, I don't think we saw this, but Batman gets his pinky chopped off.
Oh no!
It's pretty crazy.
His bat pinky.
It's pretty crazy, dude.
His bat pinky. No.
His pinky, dude.
But anyways, as a whole, I just think we have a lot of superhero gunk right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of just superhero stuff all over the place all the time. And I think someone needs to pull the brakes,
But that also brings into the conversation why The Boys, why Invincible is so refreshing
because
with a superhero, because it's different.
Yeah.
And it's superheroes.
Again, Deadpool did it first.
Refreshing.
Logan right after that did it. So I think, like I said, I think someone just might need to push the brakes a little bit. Just tap them. Mm-hmm. Slow it down. One of them needs to make the move, or all the superhero movies are going to come down crashing. That's my biggest fear.
As much as everyone's going to be upset, I feel like it needs to be Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marvel needs to slow down and really evaluate what is going on, because right now they're worried about quantity instead of quality.
No, I really think 2020 fucked over making movies.
Yeah, and we didn't get anything for a whole year, and they're like, let's get everything out.
No, but then Disney Plus
months.
came out, and now they're like, let's put Marvel TV shows on there, which sounded like such a just great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make Marvel TV shows, live action Marvel TV shows. Do it. They have not been fun.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Like, WandaVision was really fun. And what was after that? I don't remember. Like, what was the next one?
Are you actually asking?
No, it's like more rhetorical. It's like, you remember WandaVision, right?
Uh-huh.
What's the next one you remember?
It was Loki.
Right. How was She-Hulk for you? How was Falcon and the Winter Soldier for you?
Mm.
Yeah, but then we got something cool like Werewolf by Night, which was different.
Which was great.
Do more shit like that. Use it as that kind of platform. And now DC has Max, right? Mm-hmm. They can use Max. They can do all the same shit on Max, which is what they're going to do. But, like, just learn from the mistakes of others.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes. Let's take a breather. Reevaluate in 2025. And go from there.
You're getting aggressive again?
Not for you.
And I'm getting triggered.
You're getting triggered? I'm not yelling at you. The situation is frustrating.
I understand. But I'm getting triggered.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Ay. Well, that kind of, I feel like, is the end of our discussion there.
Just because you don't want me to yell at you anymore?
No. I mean, you can yell at me all you want. I'm just saying, I feel like we've covered the majority of, like, what we would have to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and again, I'm not mad at you.
Uh-huh.
I'm mad at the situation.
I know.
Give me your hand.
Don't touch me.
Give me your hand.
No.
Motherfucker, give me your hand. I love you. You're the one who chose this topic.
I know, and you getting aggressive is making me be like, I chose a bad topic.
I don't think you chose a bad topic. That's not.
I'm a terrible.
Get out of your head.
I'm a terrible human being.
Get out of your head. Stop.
Anyway,
you sound like me. You don't have the anxiety in the friendship I have.
Right.
Right. Anytime you say that, I think you're fucking mad. Right.
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 How long have we been going?
Long enough.
Well, thank you for listening to BJ in the morning.
If you haven't already, please go ahead, drop us a like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us there.
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell to get notifications anytime we release a video. Also, follow us on Instagram at
BJ in the morning _.
TikTok at
BJ in the morning _
Twitch at
BJ in the morning _
And I think that's all of them.
We haven't twitched yet.
Not yet, dude. Someday.
But we will be twitching pretty soon.
Well, like my eye's been twitching for like a month. I should probably go to the doctor.
You might want to get that checked out. Are you winking?
No.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's a little different pace, I feel like, but
I'm still exhausted from Friday.
Yeah.
My voice is still halfway gone.
Mine is not.
No,
but but I feel you.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home and pass out.
Well, you go home. I will pass out here at my home.
Yeah.
In this chair.
But
thank you for listening. We love you.
Let us know in the comments below if you think superhero movies need to stop for a bit, maybe.
Or let us know the pros and cons of what we just talked about.
A whole Venn diagram would be sick.
Yeah, if you could write us an Excel spreadsheet.
Can you do an entire PowerPoint presentation for us?
And drop it in the comments.
Just a link maybe to a video.
Yeah.
If you want to hop on a Zoom call sometime, I think we can make it work.
We can do a FaceTime. Easier. Cheaper.
But thanks for listening to BJ in the Morning. I'm Brendan.
I'm Juan.
And
we'll talk to you next time.